Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, April 30th. I'm Khalil Kato with the details. As SVG joins the international community in observing Workers' Day or May Day tomorrow, the RSVG Police Force is advising members of the general public to continue to be responsible citizens by adhering to the various measures and protocols that have been implemented by the government to protect citizens and visitors and reduce the spread of the COVID-19 virus. The police said it is customary for Vincentians to engage in different social events or activities on public holidays, and in light of the current global health crisis and the need for physical distancing and social hygiene, the following various legislations would be in effect: the Noise Control Act, the Criminal Code, the Criminal Procedure Code, Traffic Regulations Act, the Litter Act, National Parks Act, and Beach Protection Act. To this end, the police says there will be sustained patrols to ensure there is no playing of amplified music in private or public places, no mass gatherings of persons on beaches, churches, or other social events, vis-a-vis, river cooks, picnics, etc. Social and physical distancing are being practiced. Motorists and commuters are adhering to the protocols with regards to the number of passengers riding in omnibuses. No boat rides and/or excursions, and quarantined persons are at their designated places of confinement at all times. The RSVG Police Force used the opportunity to thank the general public for its cooperation and support during this unprecedented period and saluted all of the nation's workers, especially those who are on the front lines of protecting the population. The newly developed isolation facility at Argyle received a major boost today with the donation of several beds and medical equipment. The donation of $500,000 was made by the Rotary Club South. Speaking at the handing over ceremony was Minister of Health, Wellness and the Environment, Luke Brown, who thanked the Rotary Club South for the donation. A ventilator was part of the medical equipment received today, and Minister Brown said this piece of equipment will go a long way in SVG's fight against the deadly coronavirus.
What you may have heard during the course of the coverage of COVID-19 and the pandemic throughout the world is that a ventilator is mission critical. We've heard about shortages of ventilators throughout the world and so on. And Rotary Club South is also, or has also, donated a ventilator that would help with the management of severe cases of COVID-19, and that is very important. We thank God that so far we've not had any severe cases and that persons have been either mild or moderate and they were able to be managed at home in isolation, but we have to prepare ourselves for any eventuality, and the ventilators would be very important with that regard. And the donated items really cover a wide range. It's an assortment really, because we have, for instance, an autoclave machine. Autoclave machines are very important from the standpoint of the sterilization of equipment, and in a facility such as this, sterilization takes on an even greater significance. It is of importance even in ordinary hospital settings, but at an isolation center specifically developed to attend to the issues surrounding COVID-19, it is paramount.
Minister Brown assured the public that his ministry is taking its responsibility to protect the public seriously.
In one way or the other, and please be assured that the resolve of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment is as high as ever to protect the health and welfare of our citizens. We are gathering here today, April 30th, the end of this month, 3 months after the World Health Organization declared a public health emergency of international concern over the coronavirus pandemic. And look at how far we have come in those 3 months. I know that the emergency committee of the WHO is meeting today to evaluate the evolution of the pandemic and to also make updated recommendations. So we are in tune with what is going on at that level, and that guidance filters into St. Vincent and the Grenadines and our approach to the employment of public health measures.
A representative from the Rotary Club South, Glynis Hay, said the organization is delighted to play a role in SVG's fight against COVID-19.
To this end, Rotary Club of St. Vincent South partner with MESA Medical Equipment and Supplies Abroad to oversee the donation of medical equipment and supplies to the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment. The items were made available and it was facilitated through Rotarian Andy Bones in Ohio. He came up with a concept, he spoke with us, we signed a memorandum of understanding, and at the end of it we ended up with a 40-foot container valued at about US 500,000. So we are here today to officially hand it over to the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Environment, capable hands, because I know that they will ensure that the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are beneficiaries of the equipment and supplies that were given to us as donations.
Dr. Godwin Friday, leader of the opposition, says that there is evidence suggesting that the last 4 recorded cases of COVID-19 in SVG came out of one community, and this is creating fear and anxiety among residents. Speaking on radio yesterday, Dr. Friday said this could have been avoided. However, he said precautionary measures must be put in place now to protect other residents of the community and to slow the spread of COVID-19 in SVG.
You know, we have to get a handle of it and on it, and so therefore we have to make sure that we put the measures in place to prevent further spread. Definitely. And certainly the spotlight will be on the cluster that has occurred now, and these measures to prevent, you know, traffic in and out, and to secure the people in those communities so that the, you know, persons who have been detected to be affected, persons who have been in touch with those persons, we have to implement measures to ensure that those persons are quarantined within that community so there is no further spread. Okay. No? These are things that can be done right now. And we'll talk again about, you know, the emerging or the evolving economic adjustment measures. These, let me just say this, these problems, the economic problems, the problems of adjusting, of living, what is what we're doing now, living with COVID-19, these challenges will only become greater.
The opposition leader is also advising Vincentians not to discriminate against residents from the affected community.
That, you know, that we all, that there's no reason here, this could happen to anybody. It can. There's no reason, there's nothing wrong with Greg, there's nothing bad about Greg, there's nothing that we should be concerned beyond the health risk. And we don't want it to become a greater risk for the entire country and for the people of Greg who are not affected. You know, that we have to show that what we are going to do for them is what we would do for any other community. You know, I take these precautionary measures myself personally because I tell people, I said, you must suspect me as well because I'm a politician, I'm an active person. I'm about, you know, I try to do what I can to be safe, but there's a possibility that it could be. So when I wear a mask, I don't just do it for myself, I do it for you. You know, so if I feel that way about myself, then I know that it's possible that it could affect any community, it could affect any person. And so we have to be understanding in that respect and be concerned about the health of our citizens, do what we can to help them to be safe, to protect them, and to protect the wider community.
On Tuesday, SVG recorded its 16th positive case of COVID-19. In a news release, the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, said that Tuesday's new case is closely associated with the last 3 cases reported by the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, and forms part of a small cluster of import-related cases. The release, however, did not say the cases were from a single community. There are now 8 active cases of COVID-19 in SVG, with 8 persons who have fully recovered. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to affect economies worldwide, including here in the Caribbean, a revised projection by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank predicts that the region's economies will shrink by 16% overall. In reference to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Minister of Finance Camilo Gonzalez said that the ECCB predicts that SVG's economy will shrink by at least 11%.
May shrink by as much as 16%. That's 1/6. That would be the largest contraction in the regional economy, probably in recorded history. I'm not sure if there's another example of the entire region contracting by that much. The prediction for St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not as severe, maybe on the order of 11% as opposed to 16, because our economies are not as dependent on tourism as some of the other economies in the Eastern Caribbean. But all of this points to increasing severity in the impact of the COVID pandemic on the economies of our region and the economies of countries in our neighborhood.
Minister Gonzalez said Vincentians should be grateful that the government did not take the decision to lock down the country as a result of COVID-19, noting that some countries which took that decision are now feeling the effects.
Grateful to the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister and indeed other members of the Cabinet for resisting the urge to have a knee-jerk lockdown and complete halting of activity in the country, because now that the numbers are coming out from various countries, two things are being observed. One observation is that the complete lockdown has not appeared to have changed the numbers, the infection numbers, significantly from one country to the next in the region. But the other number that's coming out is that it has definitely affected the economies of those countries far more drastically.
$3 million EC dollars of the government's COVID-19 stimulus package has been set aside for young entrepreneurs under the Promoting Youth Micro Enterprises Prime program. This was announced by the Finance Minister at yesterday's news conference. He said they are expecting to start the processing of applications next month for as many as 50 persons.
The first wave of applications, I understand that they will make a recommendation to Cabinet in the coming week of the first 40 or so, 40 to 50 recipients of Prime grants. You may say, look, I want to start a music school because I'm a musician and I want to teach people music. You may say, I want to enhance a recording studio. You may say, I normally make costumes, but guess what? I think there's an opportunity now for me to make COVID masks, to sew those instead. But I need some money, sewing machine, materials, what have you. You can take your talent to Prime as a cultural and creative artist and get support there.
Minister Gonzalez said that the government has also injected a further $1.5 million for persons who are over 40 years and who are willing to set up a small business. Like the Prime initiative, persons will not have to repay the monies as it is a grant offered by the government.
I have a hair salon, I have a barber shop. Camilo ain't coming to get trim again. There's one less income for me. I sell various products. I deliver food to workers in town, but you know, the catering business has slowed up because more people are eating at home and so on and so forth. But I'm over 40. We have essentially what is a Prime Plus of similar support program for people who don't fall under the 40-year-old threshold. So that support for small businesses is also available this year.
Each applicant will receive between $2,500 and $40,000, which is the maximum. The program is open to persons who have new and already existing businesses who may not otherwise qualify for traditional methods of financing. The SVG Teachers Union held its 21st biennial convention today under the theme Building a New Generation of Trade Unionists. This year's convention followed the social distancing guidelines for COVID-19 and was live-streamed via the social media platform Facebook. At the convention, solidarity messages from the Grenada and Barbados Teachers Unions were read. Outgoing President Wendy Bino said that over the last 2 years, her executive implemented a number of programs to benefit all of the members of the SVGTU.
The SVGTU has a challenge, and this relates to our ability to change and mobilize in a way that nurtures our youth. If we are unable to innovate and inspire new ideas, invite thoughtful exchange and reasoned dialogue, then we will indeed create a union in crisis. The theme selected for this year's convention, Building a New Generation of Trade Unionists, is quite apt and instructive. It serves as a reminder that we need to lay the foundation for a new generation of trade unionists who can build a progressive, dynamic, and vibrant 21st century organization. One where a full commitment to the service of members.
Bino said that the SVGTU also partnered with Adams Insurance Brokers, which offers an impressive insurance package for members of the union, which is a milestone in the union's history.
It's a milestone initiative in the union's history and is testament to how focused we were on you, the members. We have almost 700 members signed up to the plan since its implementation. I want to say to us that Adams Insurance Brokers has informed us that beginning tomorrow, May 1st, 2020, the coverage will move from $600,000, that is what we began with, to $1 million. This increase comes with other in-plan improvements that create more value for you, our members. The $25,000 US limit on the air ambulance has been removed, and now you have 100% coverage. The limit for airfare has improved significantly from $3,500 per year.
Bino encouraged all members to move past the issues and challenges threatening to tear the union apart and to come together in brother and sisterhood to build up the SVGTU.
It is imperative for us as members of the SVGTU to move beyond the union politics and internecine conflicts which divide us. Instead, let us seek to come together to create a common brotherhood and sisterhood of unity among all members. This is the only way to tackle the myriad of issues and challenges which we face as teachers. Invaluable social achievements cannot be allowed to fall victim to the indiscriminate austerity policies that we have witnessed in recent times. If we are to progress in our unions, we need to be united.
The keynote speaker Otto Sam says that the theme for the SVGTU's 21st Biennial Convention, building a new generation of trade unionists, comes at the right time, and suggests in order to build trade unionists, the SVGTU should invest more in its younger members.
In the new generation of trade unionists, the union can invest in young teachers or members by giving them exposure and experience in field visits. And we could look at some examples. For example, the executive can have a rota where a few members can be invited to visit, for example, school for children with special needs, and maybe an industrial related school like the Georgetown Multipurpose Center or school, where they can witness firsthand tough conditions under which colleagues work, maybe issues of safety, unnecessary exposure, or limited resources and high stress levels may surface. The new generation can also conduct interviews with some colleagues in these spaces. Their experiences and exposure may provoke them into becoming champion unionists.
Sam said that the union must embrace the new generation who will have respect for the values of the union.
Firstly, show interest. Have and manifest a hunger and thirst for the union and the values championed by your union. Next, champion your colleagues' cause on your school staff workplace. It is the good teacher with zeal, interest, body knowledge, and commitment who will emerge as the branch leader or the national leader. Standing up and representing your colleagues at school from unfair treatment, be it from the principal, be it from head of department, be it from parent, or whichever source, is a good start.
Come Monday, May 4th, motorists here will be paying a little less for diesel and gasoline at the pumps. The price changes were gazetted today under Section 10 of the Price and Distribution of Goods Act, Cap 161. The changes are as follows. For areas 1, 2, 3, and 4, diesel will be sold at a maximum wholesale price of $9.64 per gallon, down from $10.13 per gallon. The maximum retail price will be $10.30 per gallon, down from $11.21. Low sulfur diesel will be sold at $9.63 wholesale and $10.29 retail. Gasoline will be sold at $10.71 wholesale and $11.47 retail, which is a reduction of 48 cents from $11.97.